there is an iron wall between us and the wisdom of Kabbalah as a means to correct this new view that we have after the exile. And this partition is since the ruin of the temple, and that's why the ruin happened, because the Yovut increased. As we learned that the disciples of Rabbi Akiva behaved not by the rule of love thy neighbor as thyself, and instead they began to find that they have unfounded hatred among them, a result of the increase of the Yovut in that generation, that because of that they stopped feeling godliness in the renewed vessels, the corrupted ones, and the spiritual world darkened on them, and they felt themselves only in this world, without a guide, without a giver, without the upper force. They felt themselves as we do, and then the relationship between people is called unfounded hatred, and this is going on until our generation. In this introduction, he wants to explain to us how we can use the wisdom of Kabbalah in order to correct this view that we have and return to a situation where we will feel reality again, know the giver, see from within our soul. When we discover our soul, through our soul we'll see the actual reality, and the process of all the incarnations and corruptions and what it should bring us to. And in this process we will live in a general form, and understand what the beginning of creation is, what the end of creation is, and where we have to get. Of course, if we discover it and know it, then we can function properly according to the discoveries we'll have, and perform the purpose. To the extent that we know it and begin to do it, then of course we will come out of these troubles and this heaviness that is lying on us, this great heaviness that is lying on us. If you have questions, ask. He says that there's a fear that it'll be forgotten from Israel. He says that it might be that the situation will be so bad that there'll be a stop in a generation. There was such a stop already, when Kabbalah was not, there was no reception from Kabbalist to Kabbalist, and that caused a great loss. And if it happens in our generation, it will bring to a situation where the world will have to make steps to move in much greater darkness, in much more drastic situations. It's possible. We're fighting it, but that could be. And when I begin to speak to another person's heart about the study of this business of this study, his first question is, well, instead of saying yes, of course it's important and I want it, he says no. He asks, why should I know how many angels are in the sky? meaning it's so far it doesn't belong to me. Maybe these things exist, yes, but what does that give me? People don't recognize the importance of it, that they're dependent on it. And what are their names? Meaning, what do they do? Because the name is knowing the essence of something. Can I not keep the entire Torah with every detail without this knowledge? So this is already a person who keeps Torah and mitzvot and says, why is it important for me to keep Torah and mitzvot? He is certain that keeping Torah and mitzvot has got nothing to do with Kabbalah. That this is like that he is certain that all the Torah and mitzvot are only acts that are not connected with Kabbalah. They don't understand that keeping Torah and mitzvot, meaning the correction of the will to receive with the aim to use it to bestow to the Creator, that by that a person comes to the equivalence of form, to perfection, to eternity, that the upper world opens to him, that he becomes as high as the Creator, which is the purpose. But he thinks that keeping Torah and mitzvot is just doing what's written in the prayer book in the physical body, hands and legs, without an internal correction of the desire. So for him, Torah and mitzvot are completely external, superficial, that are performed in the actual body, not in the desires, not in the intentions, but in the body. Second, he will ask that person, the sages have already stated that first you have to fill your tummy with Mishnah and Gemara, and so he who begins to study Kabbalah, he has to first study all the Mishnah and Gemara that he needs. Meaning, this is a Talmud Bavli and everything that has to do with these books. And who can deceive himself that he has already completed the entire revealed Torah and only the hidden wisdom is missing? So that person probably doesn't know exactly the exact meaning of these words, that you have to fill yourself first with Mishnah and Gemara, and that's what Baal Sulam is trying to say here. Third, he's afraid that he will go sour, God forbid, because of this business. Why? Because there have been cases where one deviated from the path of Torah because of this business with Kabbalah. There's a rumor in the nation that a person who starts practicing Kabbalah, things happen to him, unusual, to the point that he leaves religion in the keeping of the external Torah and mitzvot that ordinary people do, and they say that people converted to Christianity and went mad and all. So he calls it go sour. And so why do I need this trouble for? And who would be gullible to put himself in danger for no reason? Right? If there's this danger, a person says, I'm afraid I'll be like everyone. What do you want from me? I think this is better, I'm afraid. Fourth, even those who do like this study, meaning they're already in it and somehow study it and they like it and they're close to it. There are groups of people who do it. For them it's not so far. The reading of the books. There are many people who add to their lives. But still they don't allow it, but only for holy people, servants of the Lord. So still a person has to be a special person, respectable, honored, filled with all sorts of wisdom in Torah, meaning that quite a great deal of knowledge, became an important person. Not everyone who wants to take the Lord shall come and take. When he's already come to a situation, yes, this person is allowed, of course. All that is missing is just to study some Kabbalah. Fifth, and most importantly, that our eyes see that students of Torah in my generation, meaning those who do study Torah, and they think that they're studying Torah, all agree with me in one mind, and leave their hands from the study of the hidden, meaning all those who say that they study Torah, if they have Torah, what do they need anything else for? So they don't recognize Kabbalah as not as a part of Torah, that this is the Torah only. Because Torah is, I've created the evil inclination of created the Torah as a spice, and this is only Kabbalah. So they don't recognize it, and they think that they're sons of Torah because they do only the mitzvot externally. So they leave their hands in this study of the hidden, and also advise those who ask them that without any doubt it is better to study a page of Gemara instead of this business. It is accepted by the people, and that's what has to be done. So these are the answers that he gets from those he turns to about the study of Kabbalah. Questions? No. I understand you don't have these questions. You have other questions? No, you don't